Yeah. Okay. So from key thing here is one thing is inside position. So if he's got his hands inside my biceps, just controlling, just cut my biceps. Yeah, this is good. This is good for him. I can't do shit, so I have to swim and get inside. This is a bit of control now. Doesn't mean I'm safe from punches, but I can kind of track where he's at, okay? And then I can go down to just controlling. So I just grab this, and yeah, exactly. See how he's already trying to swim for that inside position. So we're fighting for that thing. So that's one. If we go here from the side, so here, he's up tall as well. He's got his hip here. He'll smash me from here. So I have to use all my weapons. So I need to use my knees as well to pull him in. Notice my hands already are tight. One, it's defending, but it's also helps me get this inside position. So I can control him there. So this is your like standard position. Okay, this just keeps you relatively safe, but he's gonna push up pretty easily from here. The other thing I want you to think about is creating distance. So sometimes if you got feet, like if you create distance here, and you're long enough like this, where I've got feet on the hips. See, now I've got inside position again, but it's my knees controlling his arm. This actually feels quite strong, right? I feel like I could stand up pretty easily from here. Again, talking about submissions, if you feel good enough, you can start to threaten, things like that at least. But notice, at least here, I'm relatively, okay, there's a lot going on in those two things, but I just want you to think, here, I'm relatively safe from strikes, yeah? And also here, I'm relatively safe from strikes, okay? So, I know it's not really, again, there's so many things we can do, but there's a couple of like little pit stop positions, and I'm gonna focus on two of them, where we can stay relatively relatively safe, and then kind of just get our breath back to figure out some options from there. And then the most simple one is this kind of like, if you look at it, and if you watch a bit of UFC or to UFC last night, you said, is when you have kind of like a guillotine. To be honest, I love the reactions. In ALTA, with massive gloves, with shorter time limits, I wouldn't suggest going for this to finish, like putting all your effort into the guillotine, but this is enough just to control his posture, just a little bit more. This is a lot more strong than if I'm just holding him like this, like we looked at, okay? Because now I've got my body behind it. And I just want your key thing here to think, look, if I can cup his chin, great, but basically I want it to think that I don't want to see the back of his neck. Yeah. If I'm covering the back of his neck, then I'm controlling his posture very well. Okay, if I can see the back of his neck, he's about to slip out. Okay, so I want you to think, basically do that first move that we did, pull him in, and then pull him down here a little bit. As he comes up, watching this is the key details. As he starts to come up, push up all the way up, because I come up with him, and then this comes all the way out and across. And then I can start to pull him back down, okay? And for you guys who have seen this before, a little bit more advanced, instead of just being straight, this is a good place to film it. Instead of being just straight back like this, I'm just fighting his weight. I actually do that. This is why we did a bunch of hip escapes. The other way. So if I shift my hips out to my left here, you see how he falls into that space? Yeah. Now my legs are doing a bit better job controlling his posture. Okay, I'm not choking him just yet, but this just gives me lots of options, okay, to work from. Right, it's easier for me to be more mobile. Otherwise, I'm locked in. So yeah, I would let go if I'm pretty sure that I can get the position, because right now all you're doing is posturing up, right, and you can't advance. So that yeah, exactly right. I can open up, so really posture up hard, boom, and then I can transition to this. I was just telling Warren and Robin earlier as well, if they give you the opportunity on the bottom here to scoot here, I'll just do that straight away. So see, I'm covering the neck. I don't quite have a great position just yet, but I'm just still covering the back of his neck. This will make him posture up, okay? Chances are, if he doesn't posture up, I'll do other things, okay? But we'll have a look at that actually. So we'll do it from that position. Let's just say one other common thing that you'll get, is they just burrow their head down. His head's underneath my chin almost, and just pushing his weight into me. This is kind of annoying, right? Like, he's not winning. He's winning in MMA, but he's not doing anything meaningful, okay? And he can have little strikes here and there. So first thing is, I just want to control inside position like we talked about. So I'm just tracking his arms. I'm not really controlling, but he's really driving his weight forward into me. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna try and push his head one way. If he's weak like that, I can lock up straight away. So that's pretty good. But he's gonna resist because he doesn't like that. So he's gonna resist that. So then push. Doesn't work, so I push the other way. Okay, now same thing. I don't even care about grips. I just care, don't see his neck, and keep your elbow clamped down. Yeah. And chances are he's gonna want to posture up hard. Okay. As he postures up, I come up to my elbow, follow him, come up to my hand. If he stops from here, if he pushes back into me, that's when I can lock this up and do everything we just did. But if he doesn't, if he works really hard to posture up, I'm gonna sit up all the way with him. This hand blocks the elbow, and then we'll bump him all the way across. Okay? Wow. So do it to someone else for him, so you can take it strong. He's gonna wanna push up from here. He starts to push up so I can follow. And then, look guys, there's a bunch of ways I can get to this position. I'm just trying to chain this off what we've already done. Yeah, exactly, like he can strike, he's got a free hand, but it's not that strong, okay? But again, I go here, I bring my elbow down. There's a bunch of things I can do with my grip. Doesn't really matter, I just want to not see my green. Yes, exactly. I don't want to see the back of his neck, okay? I don't really care what else you do, as long as you keep your elbow tight. And then the last little bit to make it even better. So just think, the arm that's wrapped up around the neck, I want to hip switch. I want to switch my hips slightly away from it, okay? So now I'm controlling his posture a lot better. The more he tries to push up, then I can get up to my feet. Because he's not worried about... So we're here, right? So we're controlling, he has to push up on the ground in order to do this. So he's got to push up to push up. What I can do is now, he's given me this arm, all right? Or really either, but I'm gonna grab this one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do that little hip escape like I did, but now I'm gonna control this arm. So now I've lost control of his head, that's okay, but I've controlled his posture. He's gonna wanna posture up straight away, but I want now to clamp with the back of my knee. I just like these positions, because like when we were holding on in the bottom of mount, like when we had his neck locked up, I can kind of chill out here and just wait for him to figure out what I'm gonna do next, okay? This is actually a pretty good position to strike from. From bottom, there's not many good positions to strike from, but he can't really hit me, and I can just wail on him here. Submissions if you want there, but more importantly, just fucking stand up. It's so easy. So we go here. So let's look at the transition, because that's the tricky part. So we go from locked up the neck, and this is another thing I consider like a safety position, right? Because he can't hurt me. He can punch me, he can't hurt me. So he's gonna have to address this before anything else. So one of the ways he addresses that is pushing down. And then the other hand that's free, I'm gonna overhook, so I'm gonna circle his hand and then hip escape out that direction. Notice when I put my hip in, it goes from here to opens his arm out where he's weak. I do that, leg goes over the top. There's many ways you can do here. I don't really care what you do. I just care that your top knee controls higher up on your shoulder. If I'm here, posture up, good. If I go on the top of his shoulder, it's much harder posture up. He will get it eventually, but in the time it takes for him to do that, I've got more time to work and do other things. So controlling as high as you can, and then you can even go from here and then let him go here, and just kind of pinching your knees together. And I'll just chill out here. I like this position in MMA a lot. Okay. There's lots of options. Again, pushes up. Okay, if you've already done jiu-jitsu, there's other options there, which is good. But again, standing up is a really easy option, which